Thank you all for joining me again. This is a Ready to Love live recap. I was going to do this along with some other shows that I had watched in a reality TV chat, but I just had so much stuff to talk about. I had so much stuff to talk about. I'm like, this one is going to be one on its own. One on its own. Anyway, let's get into our intro. Come on in the room. Whoa, come on in the room. Yeah, we got so much to talk about. So won't you come on in the room? Everybody sing, come on in the room. Whoa, come on in the room. Yeah, we got so much to talk about. I said we got so much to talk about. I said we got so much to talk about. So won't you come on in the come on. Thank you all for being here. How are we doing? If you are joining me from Instagram, I just want to let you know at around the hour mark, Instagram kicks me off. I don't know. It's their policy. It's how they do things. So if you do get kicked off, please come join me here on YouTube at Nikki.Star TV. Thank you all for joining me. Also, I'm going to get into the comments. Welcome everybody here for about 10 minutes, and then we are going to get into the review. Let's go. We're set. Let's go. How we doing? Come on in the room. Ella said, I'm so ready. Will Mama Star and Toya Star be in attendance? I need their point of views. You know what? They're watching. I'll ask them if they want to join in. That'll be fun. Hey, Rael. Thank you for being here again. Hey, NTR. Said I need, oh my gosh. Oh, Mama Star. I don't know. You know what? I don't know if they watch this. I don't know if they watch this. If they didn't watch and they don't want to come up, I'll bring them up next week because I never even thought about that. Spency back like we never left. Hey, Alicia. Hey, Sarah. Hey, Patty, it's Betty. How are you? I said, no. You, Siri. Bye. Patty, as Betty said, never been able to catch a live from the start. Yay! Thank you for being here. Hey, is UV. Peyton said, hey, Nikki. Hey, Star Gang. Hope everybody is doing well. So glad you're talking about the show. I didn't know if I wanted to watch it or not, so can't wait to hear your commentary on it. This show is a mess. It's a show on OWN, Ready to Love. It's a show on OWN with people who are in their 30s, 40s, and 50s who are looking to find love. It's men and women. They're brought together. They do cocktail parties, different challenges, and you just see them dating and getting to know each other. And at the end of the show, some people find love, some people do not. This season is a bit different because the men on this show are basura. And they have these men dating women who are way out of their league, and these men know it, and they treat the women like garbage because of it. So if you want to get into Ready to Love, I would not say start with this season because you'll hate the show. You will hate the show. It's normally a lot better than this. I don't know what's going on. I am gagged at how terrible it is this season. The Haitian Empress said, hello, Nikki in chat. Hey, Haitian Empress, what's up? Simply Sakina said, yes, I just finished my RTL review just in time to catch a live. What's RTL? If you don't mind my asking. Thank you for being here. Kayla said, I haven't watched this show in a few seasons, but I heard about the foolishness this season, so I'm here to kiki. It's a mess. The Haitian Empress said, what have Black women done to deserve these sorry lots of Black men on these love shows? Seriously, one must ask. You know what? To be honest with you, I think it's just, I don't think it's just isolated to women. I mean, to Black women. I feel like women globally are just going through this. The men are just not good catches as a majority. It's really bad out there for what I tell you, straight women are living in hell. It's really bad out there for us. Really, really bad out there for us. Hey, Candace. Oh my gosh. Hold on. Simply Sakina, wait, let me get your first comment. You review this show as well? Let me know. If you do, let me know if you want to come up to talk about it. The Haitian Empress said that men are not menning. Absolutely. Absolutely. LS said, Ready to Love has gone downhill. It absolutely has. It absolutely. I'm telling you, I was watching because I just was binge watching it because I wanted to like catch up. And so I'm watching this season and I was absolutely gagged at how horrible it is. Like these men are not quality. These men are not quality. Oh my God, you watch her. Oh yes. Hey. Okay, so what I if you're down, what I'll do is I'll do my part of the review, just the things that I wanted to talk about. And then I'll bring you up if you don't mind talking about it. That'll be fun. It's up to you. I know if you just did your review, you're probably exhausted and don't feel like it, but it's up to you. YouTuber family, what's up? Petty as Betty said, Ready to Love simply reflects the current state of dating for Black women. It's trash. I want to be positive, but I want to be like, oh, that's not. But see, I'm not out there. I'm terrified. But I want to be like, oh no, it's much better. But this is scary. This show is very scary. Very, very scary. Hey, Toya Star, thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. Let me get over. Let me get over to Instagram to see if anybody said anything. Okay. Hey, Instagram fam. I want to be checking this periodically to see if you guys said anything because I remember the last time you guys were talking up a storm and I missed everything. So sorry. So sorry. Okay, hold on. And we're back. Child, I'm trying to manage both screens. This what am I gonna do when I get into the TikTok community? I haven't yet gone over there. But like I'm at the point where I can start to go live, but I'm scared. TikTok seems a little bit more dangerous. A little bit more dangerous than Instagram. All right, I'm going to get started a bit early. You guys are still coming in, and that's fine. Let me take Toya Star down. So, so because of that, I'm going to get started a bit early. I don't want it to stop. I want it to end. Cancel. Yay! All right, let me get into my notes. The Haitian Empress said, had I been on a date with Lamar, I would have asked him about how spontaneous he is to see. Drag him, please. Hey, sup, people. Okay, so first we are going to get into the cast members. I'm going to briefly talk about them. Then we are going to get into the last 3 episodes. This is sad. I can't believe they watched this show and say, yeah, let's post it. This show is sad. This show is really, really sad. Simply Sakina said, sure, I will come up. Just let me know when you're ready for me. Yay, that'll be fun. I want to star this. So I'm absolutely going to come back to that. Yay, that's going to be fun. All right, T. And listen, normally I do not do this, but Simply Sakina, the Haitian Empress, loves your reviews. And you know, the Haitian Empress loves me, so she got good taste. She got good taste. Yes, Simply Sakina, put your URL in the comments. Your YouTube URL in there. Miss GG88 said, hey, Star family, Love is Blind Brazil, heavy in the chokehold. I paused it to join the Star family. Yay! Look at me beating out Love is Blind. Petty as Betty said, I read a study about IPV, and the reason the rates are so much higher for Black women seems to be rather direct link to Black male overrepresentation. We're in danger. We're in danger. I know, and I trust your opinion. We are in danger. I'm scared. I am scared. Straight women globally are going through it. We are going through it. Um, okay. All right. There we go. We're ready. I'm sorry. I'm like managing two screens, so forgive me, guys. I want. This is my first day using Instagram as well, so I just want to make sure that my Instagram people are not being left out. Okay, great. Let's get into it. So first up, we are going to talk about Alexis. She's sweet. She's fun. She has a lot of energy. Too good for the men on this show. Too good for the men on this show. Let me see if Own has a if Own has like a bio for her. Because let's get into this real quick. Own, y'all have got to put a little bit more money, one, into advertising for the show and the marketing for the show. The Instagram and the Twitter, I feel like y'all have abandoned that, and the marketing is not up to par. It really, really isn't. The pictures that you have of some of these people on your site, it's not good quality. It's like y'all took these pictures on a BlackBerry and like in front of a Michaels. It's like y'all need to put a bit more money into the show, because I think it's a really good show. I think y'all need to give Ready to Love the Love and Marriage budget as well, because I think this show really does deliver, and they deserve a bit better, because what I have seen it's not a good look. It's not a good look. And no bios on your website of the cast. All I know is that Alexis is 32 and she is a national sales operator, but she's also very sweet and very, very fun. And again, too good for the men on this show. Too good for the men on this show. I feel like if she was ever going to find any love on this show, she's going to have to dumb herself down to the point where it will be absolutely embarrassing to watch. April, another woman, smart, another woman who is smart and educated. She is 42 and a pharmacist, ready to love, ready to love. The men are not quality, and they are absolutely intimidated by her work. April, I feel so bad for her. All she said was that she had a master's degree and the men just started hating her. Oh, she got a master's. She talked about that. If you get a freaking master's, you're going to talk about, especially when you're getting to know someone and they're asking you about yourself. That was the most recent thing that she has done. Don't ask her about what she's recently done if you're going to get intimidated and mad that she says that she has a master's. Like, as soon as she said that she has a master's degree, she had a target on her back. It's crazy. They liked her until they found out she was educated. That's very scary. That is very, very scary. Speaking of scary, Alonzo, my God, today. Alonzo is 36 and he is an insurance adjuster. Leads with sex. Leads with sex. Very scary the way he talks to women. Not ready to love. Not ready to love. And you're going to find this problem on this show a lot, where all of the women are ready to love. I think it's only one woman who I do not think is, well, two women who I do not think is ready, but all of the men are not ready to love. All of the men are not ready to love. Not ready to love. Not ready to love. Charles, I feel like Charles is this, oh shoot, it's not Charles. Oh, Charles Dominique. Darn it. Yeah, well, it's Charles Dominique or whatever. But he goes by Charles on here. He is another man that's not ready to love, another man that leads with sex. Like, every time he's talking to the women, it's just something sexual. I'm like, she's literally asking you very important things about yourself, and you are talking about how long it's going to take for you to have sex with her. At your big age. At your big age of 36. That's a mature 36 for a Black. Okay. Koshia. I'm riding with her, right? I agree with a lot of her takes. Koshia, you're not ready to love. Koshia, you are not ready to love. I'm standing by you. I agree with your opinions. You are not ready to love. Koshia is 36. She's a machine learning program manager and realtor. I don't think that you will never be ready to love. I think right now, I will sit down with a therapist and figure out why you're so easily triggered, right? And this is just basically going off on how you handle situations that get your pressure up, in African American terms, because I just feel like there's a better way as a 36-year-old boss, woman boss, girl boss. I don't like girl boss, woman boss. I just think there's a better way for you to handle conflict. And although you're right, the way you handle conflict as an adult woman business owner is a little alarming. And I just feel like, especially if you want to date and be in relationships with Black men, the explosions are just not going to be well received. I like her though. But I cannot say that that's not alarming to me. Jonathan, he's leading with his family owned business, and that's about it. He has so many freaking secrets. Half the women on this show didn't even know that he was married. Shamika was like, he married? Oh, that's a problem. Like, he's hiding the fact that he has an ex-wife, hiding that. And the way he talks about himself, like how he was just giving out everything, and it wasn't what he was giving out wasn't reciprocated to him. I don't believe it. Red flag. He is a red flag to me. But I think he doesn't do much because his family owns a business. He owns a recycling center, and although it's a recycling center, they make money, they make bank. So I think he leads with that, and he's looking for someone who will be quiet and walk behind him and raise his child, and that is very alarming because he's leading with that as well. A lot of the men who have children are leading with that. Very alarming. Very alarming. It's not, oh, I want you to meet my children and see how that works, but I'm looking for somebody to take care of my kids. This is a mixer. Why are you dropping this on women? I mean, I will say, thank God the men are being honest. They are being honest to a terrifying point. Very, very scary. Not ready for love. Ready for an enslaved woman, but he is not ready for love. Lamar, 9-1 freaking 1. The scariest guy on this show. Lamar is a 43, a coach, entrepreneur, unemployed. And that's why he's so damn angry. Lamar is unemployed on this show looking for coochie. He is not looking for love. Another man that leads with sex, but he leads with it so much, is scary. It's scary. You're sitting there talking to a woman trying to get to know her. Would you want to go skinny dipping? What are you talking about? They haven't even brought out the appetizers. Why are you trying to get her naked? What the hell is wrong with you? Terrible attitude problem. Terrible attitude problem. Mean, nasty, dismissive, unemployed, oversexed, with yellow teeth. What are you doing? What are you doing? This cannot be the best that they could find for Fort Worth. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Casting was lazy, in my opinion. Shamika, Miss Mika. I like her. She's a mama. Mika is, I think she's a mother of 3, 37 and an esthetician. I think she's ready for love, but she's not going to find love on the show because Mika don't play. Mika don't play. She's clocking these men, and as soon as she see one red flag, no matter how tiny it is, she's moving on. She won't find love on this show, but she will find love in real life, and it will be the appropriate love for her. LaRon, I know that his senior year in high school to the age of 25, he was eating. I know that man was fine. Senior year in high school to the age of 25, I know he was a menace because he's a menace now. And I think that he's still living in his heyday of when he was his finest. Not saying that he's unattractive. He's an adorable teddy bear. But I'm telling you, when he wasn't so round, that man was a menace. And he could be a menace because I know he was fine. Still attractive, but I'm saying this is more of a teddy bear now. But I know, no, he was a menace. LaRon, Another one is oversex. 32 system operations. He is thinking that vagina hair is going to cure him of wanting to be in the streets. He needs a woman to make him want to settle down and not be out there. These are grown men. Oh, it's so sad. This is so sad. These are grown men. Laylin, beautiful woman, 41, cybersecurity consultant. Are you seeing the pattern here? Are you seeing, do you hear the jobs that I am saying that the women on this show have compared to the job that the men have? The casting this season is awful. Patrice, ready to have fun, and that's okay. Because she's a divorcee. I don't think she's ready to love. I think this show is fun for her. Patrice is 43, transportation company owner. Patrice, I don't think you're ready for love. And that's fine. I'm absolutely fine with that with Patrice. Patrice is a divorcee, got her own money, business owner. She is, no matter how nasty Alonzo speaks, she's still interested. Patrice wants to have fun. And I'll allow it. I'll allow it. Have fun, Patrice. Patricia, this is what I was talking about with OWN's marketing budget for this show. Why is this the picture of one of your cast members on your website? I got this from the cast page. Why does Patrice's pictures look like this? And then this is Patricia's picture. Like you took it in a stock room. What is going on with the budget? The marketing team is lackadaisical. The marketing team, in my opinion, for this show is just as lazy as the casting department. Very just lackluster. Why is that a picture of Patricia on your website? Patricia, 36, tech recruiter. Why in the hell did y'all set these women up with these men? Beautiful woman. As soon as she tells the men the job that she does, all of a sudden they're not attracted to her. All of a sudden she's too closed off. Y'all were looking for reasons. She sat down with Jonathan. Jonathan was into her until he knew what she did for work. Now it's too much. She's so closed off. The men who can afford to take care of a woman like Patricia do not want to because they can't control her. That's why they don't like women to have their own money. Jonathan knows that he's not a catch, right? But if he leads with owning his family business, he can control women with whatever coin that he gets from that, because he probably makes a nice little chunk of change. But you can't pull them same stunts with a tech recruiter, because she got her own money and she will bounce when she feels necessary. And y'all don't want to be with a woman like that. Rashina. She is going to be a sugar mama on this show. A sugar mama on this show. Rashina, 39, hairstylist, salon owner. Not only is she a hairstylist and salon owner, she's very successful. Very successful. The men like Rashina because the men feel like that they could, and I honestly think, because I don't see anything about her that gives this off, I honestly think that because she is light, they see control, right? Like with darker women, black men say about us all the time, oh, you're dark skinned, that just means you're too strong for me, right? All of a sudden, if I'm dark, I'm just too strong. They do. If you're a light woman, if you're a light-skinned woman, they see you as somebody who is conquerable, right? So Rashida is more of a catch because she appears to be conquerable and she has money. So the men who want a sugar mama on this show are salivating over her. I hope Rashida clocks in and catches what these men are doing. Shad. Now, here's the thing about Shad. I actually like Shad. He leads with sex a little bit. They all do. Like, this is the best we're going to get. But he's a nice guy. I haven't seen anything, that really, gives me a red flag. But I guess if he did have a red flag, I wouldn't catch it right away, because the red flags for the other men on this show are like jumbo size. They could fill a stadium, right? So out of all the men, he's the safest, and that's not saying much. That's not saying much. Shad is 47, a bank data and analytics senior manager. Has the most stable job out of the men on this show, and seems really nice. He seems like, he listens to the women and just seems like a gentleman. The bar is in hell. The bar is in hell. Vanessa, her ex-husband is white, and when I tell you he put her through it, because she came on this show saying that she wants to be with a black man who aligns with her values. I said, oh, your husband must have been at January 6th. She came running back to her tribe saying, absolutely not. Vanessa is 35, flight attendant, gorgeous woman, too good for the men on this show. Too good for the men on this show. William, a comedian who does not have a comedian's personality. William talks about being a comedian and how, he's going to have his woman at his shows. He ain't cracked the joke yet. I'm like, how do we know you're funny? Because funny enough to be like a comedian and this is your job. Like, if that's your income, you got to be hysterical, right? He's also a financial advisor. So I think he's probably like, a comedian stand-up or whatever on the weekends. And that's what he really wants to do. And financial advisor is the one that brings home the bacon. He's quiet. I think the ladies, no shade, I think the ladies are not really into him because he has hips. And honestly, William, if you dress a certain way, the hips would not be so prominent. I think it's because you're tucking in your shirts and you're wearing slimmer pants. It's just giving you crazy cake and hips. So I think we just gotta work on the styling. He seems nice. I don't think that the women are into him being a comedian. And he got a little, it's the hips and I think swag, the lack of swag that's working against him. But so far, I don't see any red flags really, but who knows? The night is still young. Willie, my only red flag that I see with Willie, who was 32, a real estate development CEO, is that he's acting like he the prize. And I'm like, what have you shown us to show that you're a prize? He's not as awful as the other men, but that's not saying much. You know what I mean? But he does talk about himself concerning the women in a way where I'm just like, I don't think your head should be that big, buddy. Just my 2 cents. It's still early. We're only on episode 3, so we will see. So we start off with 2 different episodes. They split the cast up and we meet 2 different casts, and then all of the casts come together. But before the casts come together, we get an elimination. So Patricia was the first woman eliminated, and I think she was eliminated because I don't think April was in her group. And I honestly believe that when the men heard about the job that Patricia had, it was just like, nah, she has to go. Unfortunately, and she's a beautiful woman, right? This is the kind of woman, Black woman, that I see really wanting to have a Black family, really wanting to make a relationship work. And what happens is she just gets worn down by them Connors, and a fine Connor that treats her like a queen snatches her up, and the Black community goes, oh, well, you didn't try. You ain't want to have a Black family. She absolutely did. Look at the material that was given to her of Black men. I don't blame her if a Connor snatches her up. I don't blame her. If this is what's out there concerning Black men, child, let that Connor pick you up. But Patricia is no longer on the show. Unfortunately, I thought she was stunning. I thought she had a lot to offer, and I would have liked to have seen more of her. I don't think the men gave her a chance. I think they were immediately intimidated by her and decided to cut our girl. And the man that was cut from, because the women were able to cut a guy and the men were able to cut a woman. Patricia had to go, and the guy that was cut was DeMonte. I can't bring his picture up for some reason. But all I will say about DeMonte is Okay, let's get into the whole cast coming together. So the entire cast comes together, and the men and the women start interacting. And right off bat, we see that a lot of the men on this show are sexual deviants. Sexual deviants. As soon as they sit down with the woman, Alonzo was talking about pregnancy scares. Why in the hell are they do? If I get you pregnant, what are you talking about? Why are you talking about getting her pregnant and saying it like it's in a like you're trying to attack her with your sperm? Very weird. Very, very weird. The men are really being sexual. The women are trying to get to know them, and the men are like being very evasive with questions, not really answering things, and being like, "Why are you asking me this?" And it's just like, "Well, we're having a conversation, trying to get to know each other." Very, very shisty. The men on the show, sexual deviants who are extremely shisty. Um, but before we can even get to hold on. Where is this picture? Hold on, I think I have it here on my desktop. If I don't, I'll just talk about it. But before we can even get to that, we lose a guy. And the guy that we lost was Glenn. I don't have Glenn's picture, but it's fine. He's not on the show anymore. Glenn was very scared in his confessionals for some reason, like very nervous. And they were asking him, "Are you like nervous?" And he's like, "Yes, like what I'm about to say is going to go out to the whole world." So I think his anxiety got the best of him because when he was driving up to the show, like to meet everybody, he was just like, "I can't do it." So the car pulled out, and he decided that he no longer wanted to be a part of the show. My issue is with that, with such a season of lackluster men, to still go on with the show without adding another guy to the cast. Now, maybe they'll add another guy to the cast later in the season, but I feel like the women are already shortchanged by the quality of men on this show. And now they're also starting off with a lesser number of men. It's not fair. And I feel like the women should just have not only a better quality of men, but they should also have the appropriate number for the show. Because at the end of the day, the women are bosses, right? And they are right off grip lowering so much of their standards and interests to even entertain these men, and they're still being treated like garbage. I'm telling you, I feel like casting pulled these men right out of a red pill comment section. These men are terrible, terrible, and it's so upsetting. Like DeMonte, the guy that was cut, we weren't even sure if he had a real job. Kept on asking him, like the women were asking him about his job, and you're saying you're a celebrity stylist and you've done all these fashion shows. You ask a question outside of that, nah, I'm just, I can't really, nah. What are you talking about? Like, I don't understand why these men are being so evasive. So I'm feeling like either you're being evasive because you're still in a relationship, or you are unemployed, or both. That's what it's giving. The men are evasive. You can't get anything out of them. Jonathan, big red flag, right? Because first of all, half the women, like I said before, don't even know that he's married. Then when you ask him about his past relationships and he finally answers something, he also talks about how he was messing with his baby mom, but they haven't had sex in over a year. But that for a while they were having sex back and forth. And they haven't had sex in over a year. So he's a man, so he lies. So when he said he hasn't had sex with her in over a year, he hasn't had sex with her in probably a week. I wouldn't be surprised if he still lived with her. And half the women don't even know this. And he then gonna say, "Well, I think that she probably still into me." So you were sleeping with your baby mom, your ex-wife, and now you're saying that you think that she's still attracted to you. There might still be something there on her end, but not on my end. Where'd she get that from? She's not crazy, right? So why does she still have feelings for you and probably think that something could still be there? What are you doing to make her believe that? Okay. He's still sleeping with her, and I think he's living with her. Casting, you owe these women an apology. And I want all of the women on this season to be on Ready to Love Second Chances because they deserve it. Y'all did them dirty. Y'all did them dirty. These men are not quality. Why in the hell do you have several women who own businesses dating a guy who is a volunteer coach on the weekends? What are we doing? What are we doing? What is going on? And you got him with a skip tracer. No shade to the skip tracer community, but what in the hell is a tech recruiter doing dating a skip tracer? It's not going to happen. It's not realistic. And this is such a sad show to put on a network geared towards Black women. Really depressing, but no shade from the network that gave us Black love. I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked. We cut Patricia. Let's get into Lamar. Nasty piece of work. Nasty piece of work. A man that looks like his auntie and sounds like his mama and can't put down the brown liquor. That's why you look all of 68 at 43. And you have the nerve to be tender-eyed, unemployed, and angry, and horny? He's trying to put that filthy peen in every woman he sits next to. And when he can't do it, when his advances are knocked away, he just becomes so nasty. Let's get into Lamar and April. So Lamar and April, if you watch Ready to Love, everybody sits down, they get to know each other. And so April is sitting down with Lamar at the brunch that was created for them. And so at this mixer brunch, she sits down with Lamar, and all she did was ask this Dusty what he did for work. He responds, "Why you need to know all that?" Just like that. And this was April. She was just like, "Oh, so what do you do for work? Why you need to know all that?" What? I was gagged. I was so confused. And she was just like, "Oh, we're getting to know each other. So that's why you don't need to know all that." What are you talking about? She doesn't need to know what kind of work you do, or even if you have a job. And I feel like he responded that way because he didn't have a job. Lamar is unemployed. Lamar is unemployed. That's why he got mad at April. Because then you cut to Lamar in his confessional, and he was just like, "Miss Masters, she leading with that. I don't even know nothing about her, but I know that she has a master's." Oh, that's what's pissing you off. That's what's pissing you off. You can't play with her. You can't financially compete with her. So you are now going to try to demean her and make her feel less than you because you feel less than her because you know that she out earns you and she out earns and out learns you. So that's what your issue is. You're intimidated by her, so you're going to tear her down and try to make her feel less than. April was so gagged. And I can't believe this is sweet April. I can't believe that she stayed at that table as long as she did. But finally, she got up and she was just like, "You know what? I'm just going to leave this situation because you're getting really mean and really nasty." This is what Lamar going to say. "You're dismissed." And she was like, "Oh, you're not going to dismiss me. Because how you going to dismiss her?" And she was already walking away. Poor thing. I cannot believe that saying to a man that you have a master's is an immediate cutoff. Like, I can't be educated and have my own money. Like, I'm not attractive to you anymore. Insane. Insane. The men are not well. The men are not well. And this is what we got to pick from. This is what we got to pick. Put me in a nunnery. I refuse. I refuse. This is so sad. The way he talked to her Absolutely disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Now, let's get into Alonzo, who was disrespectful with everybody, right? Sexually. But like a lot of women, we got to laugh off a lot of things to just be sociable with men because they're inappropriate and scary a lot of times. So it's a lot easier to laugh it off so that you can survive the interaction. So Alonzo, he's, just being sexually nasty and, and rude, um, and just giving a lot of sexual advances to women who don't want that, right? It's a turnoff for a lot of women. Not Patrice. Not little Miss Patrice. Patrice is like, I want to see what he about. All that stuff he was saying. Okay, I want to see if he about it. Listen, Patrice is here to have a good time. Patrice is here to have a good time. She might, sleep with Alonzo, have a little fun with him, leave some money on the nightstand, and never see him again, right? Because she got it and she can do that. So Patrice is the only one who's just like, yeah, she'll entertain him. Everybody else is like, yeah, I'm uncomfortable, right? So he has a conversation with Koshia, and he is talking about, just being very sexual explicit, talking about choking and all this stuff, like sexual positions. And Koshia is just like, I just met you. Why are we starting here? And she's right. She's absolutely right. Unfortunately, this is the episode where the men get to send women home, right? So Alonzo, who is the man that made Koshia uncomfortable, is the one who basically spearheads the conversation with the men, because this is the men's week to choose who they're going to send home. So they're all discussing the women, right? And what we hear about April and Koshia is the same thing. The two women that set boundaries right off grip with the men on this show are the one that they have problems with. The two women that set boundaries are the ones that they have a problem with. The other women, and I am not faulting the other women, we have to do certain things to survive in a world with men. I get it, right? Other women just laugh it off if they did anything inappropriate and talked about it in their confessional, but they did not feel comfortable. But they'll laugh it off, right? Koshia and April were the ones who was just like, no, that's not how we're going to do that. You're not going to talk to me like that. You're not going to say those things to me. There's a different way to have this conversation. Keep in mind, both of these women are financially independent of anybody, right? They have money, they have big jobs, they're girl bosses, right? So they are literally here to find love. They're not here for support. They're not even here for protection. If we keep in a buck, they can hold their own, right? So the men are intimidated by them, especially the unemployed men who are still in relationships. Let's keep it buck. A lot of these men are still in relationships. A lot of even Alonzo, oh, my last relationship was a situationship. At your big freaking age, you in situationships at 36? When does it end? When does it end? You're in a situationship at 36 and you don't even have the wherewithal not to say it to women on a show that's called Ready to Love? You think that's going to make you more interesting? Yeah, my last relationship was a situationship. Why would you say that to them? Even if it's the truth, why would you say that? No sense. No sense, right? This is why this show is Basura. Whoever put together season 9, you will be dealt with. You will be dealt with. Alonzo, who talked about choking and spanking Koshia, made her uncomfortable, is then given the opportunity to sit down with her and chastise her about how she needs to be a better woman for the men who were doing the hunting. What? So April and Koshia are put up for elimination. April and Koshia. And we all know why. Financially independent of any man, sets boundaries, speaks their mind, can hold their own, know their worth. They don't laugh off their advances. They let them know from jump, this is not how you're going to treat me, and this is not a drag of any of the other women. Like I said, you do what you got to do to survive in a world full of men. It is what it is, right? Full of and ran by men. So these two women are up for elimination. April, the boss, who just completed her master's, very happy about that. Why shouldn't she be? And Koshia, the business owner that sets boundaries. They're up for elimination. Alonzo, who made Koshia uncomfortable, sits down with her and defends himself. Yeah, I heard that I made you uncomfortable, but I just wanted to tell you took it the wrong way. And Koshia is like, how am I supposed to take you telling me that you want to spank and choke me? What way was I supposed to take it? He's just like, well, not the way you took it. What's the other way, Alonzo? Because if the choking and spanking isn't sexual, then it's violent. So you didn't want to bang her, you wanted to beat her up? What are we talking about? What are we talking? You can't even lie right. You can't even lie right. Instead of just having the mind to sit down with this woman and say, I was unaware that I made you uncomfortable. I apologize for that because that was wrong. I should never have spoken to you like that. And thank you for communicating your boundaries because you're right. Right? So instead, he chastises her. He tells her that what happened actually didn't happen. He gaslights her, tells her that choking and spanking has a different meaning, doesn't give her what the meaning is. And then he tells her that the men think the same way that he thinks about her, that they think the same way about her. She needs to be softer. She needs to do things differently if she wants to catch it and embarrass her, right? So he's literally the man that made her uncomfortable is literally sitting down with her, gaslighting her, and chastising her, and then tells her that she's ready for love, right? So Koshia is just like, I don't feel great. I don't feel great. Like he just made me feel completely uncomfortable yet again. So after he tells her that she is ready for love and she's going to survive on this god awful show, another episode, he then goes back to tell her again that what he said to her, she took it the wrong way. And again, not giving her an explanation. So you know what Koshia did? She got up and she said, I'm not dealing with this. I'm not, and she walked out as she should have. And then she goes out and she tells production, take this off of me. Now, let me tell you something. The way she talked to them, she should have talked to them like that. And she should have also told them, how dare you put me in a situation where I'm chastised by the man that I told you made me uncomfortable by what he said and did. She should have cussed them out. And no matter what she says, she would have been in the right because production should have never put that woman in that situation. And one can say, oh, production just made a mistake, right? That was just the one time that they made a mistake. No, they made it twice. They made it twice because April, who was damn near assaulted by Lamar, sits down with Lamar. Why is he sitting down with her? The man that made her so uncomfortable, she had to get up from the table because he was raising his voice and insulting her. Why is she sitting down with him? So she sits down with Lamar. And Lamar, yet again, tells this woman what she needs to do differently and how the men feel about her. Then he looks at her and he tells her, this guy that made her feel uncomfortable, yelled at her, disrespected her. She did nothing wrong to the point where she got up to get away from him. Production decided that this was the one to tell her that she was not ready for love and sit there all smug because he got the opportunity to cut her from the show. Basura. A nasty work. A nasty work. I'm telling you, I was watching that episode and I gagged. I was like, why are you all making all these? Why is production making these decisions, these collectively awful decisions? Why are we doing this? Why are you humiliating these women? Why are you allowing the men who made them uncomfortable, fearful if we're going to keep it buck? Why are you allowing them to get this opportunity to not only cut them from the show, but chastise them. This was so evil. I could not believe what I was watching. I could not believe what I was watching. I feel so bad for Koshia and April, and I guarantee you this incident with Alonzo will probably be a catalyst in the way Koshia responds next episode. But unfortunately, like a lot of women, you take out things on people who you think are on your level or weaker because it's easier to go toe to toe with another woman, or take it out on a child or somebody that is weaker than you than to go at it with the man that caused the trauma, because you don't feel like you'll win or you're fearful. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be surprised if Alonzo was a part of her meltdown next episode, and I would not be shocked of the meltdown that she has. I still stand by my statements. I don't think that she's ready to, like, I won't say ready for love, ready to get into something right now, especially after being on this show. There's some work that she's going to need to do to get to a better place, but I think after that she's gravy. Poor thing. She didn't deserve that. I don't care what outburst she has next episode. She didn't deserve that. This show made a very bad call twice. So it was intentional. And I also feel like what we, the audience, saw was not as worse as what was filmed. Because if what Alonzo was saying on camera, if that made the edit, I can only imagine what he was saying to those women that didn't make the edit. The poor women on this show, they need a do-over. Each and every one of them deserve a do-over. That's all my thoughts for this show. What do you guys have to say? Let me check on Instagram real quick to see if they're talking or saying anything over here. I see a lot of people joining, but I don't do any comments. Okay. I think I got much of my, did I get them? I got that one. Okay. Let me know if you say anything and say, oh, thank you. Oh, wait, I can't click on it. SM Swan 0319 said, you're awesome. Thank you so much. You're awesome as well. I know you're one of my YouTube subscribers, but it's just, that's how I'm reading your name here. Thank you so much for joining me on Instagram. And just to note, Instagram, after an hour, Instagram cuts me off. So if you want to finish the live and, comment, come on over here on YouTube. Mer, thank you so much for the super chat. Mer said, hey, Nikki, I started watching your video in 2021 and you really entertained me when it was much needed. I wish you all the success and blessing, my sad sis. Thank you so much, Mer. This is so sweet. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Simply SAKINA, I'm going to get a few comments and then I'm going to bring you up. So I got that. So let's get... NTR said, I'd be generous and give Lamar underemployed. But he is being not nice, and I don't get why. Because he's unemployed. He only talks to women like that who he feels that he is better than in some kind of way. Like, he could not be better than April. April has a master's. April has her own business, right? He could not do that to Koshia because she is a business owner, right? And you can't be the type of business that she has. She probably has a bunch of degrees. He feels financially and educationally intimidated by a lot of these women. So that's why he spoke to April that way. I'm telling you, I was very, very scared by how they were speaking to the women. Like, scary in a way of, this is what's out there. Why would any woman leave the house? Like, why are y'all, like, y'all, and these are older men. Y'all don't have the sense to not say this to women? Who raised you, jackals? Even LaRon, every woman that he talks to, well, I was out there in the streets and I'm still out there in the streets. I'm just waiting for the right woman to settle down because I want to get out of the streets. Why would you say that to a woman you were trying to get in a relationship with? was in the streets, currently still there, want a woman to take me out the streets. What are why would that make you attractive to any woman with a fully developed brain? Just a mess. Just a mess. Um Absolutely. Kayla said they realized they couldn't play in April's face and resorted to hating her. Absolutely. They can't out earn her or outlearn her, so they're going to tear her down. That's what all those red pill dudes do. That's what they all do. They always talk about women they could never get. And the reason why they talk so negatively about them is because they want to lower their self esteem. And then the woman with lower self esteem will put this man on a pedestal. And that's the only way that he can feel big is if she feels small. Because he can't, because he knows that she's a catch. He knows that he can never get her. You see them red pill dudes on them podcast, Tenderide, ain't got no side teeth, dirt and all kinds of guck in their eyes, white stuff at the corners of their mouth, just all kinds of shaven scars on their face. Teeth is yellow. Oh, Instagram disconnected me. I've been on an hour. Teeth is yellow, just Tenderide and just Tenderide. Just very Tenderide. And they are talking about women who would never look their way, not even in an apocalypse. But they're saying, oh, she's ugly. Oh, she's fat. Oh, she's dark. Oh, she too tall for me. Oh, she too loud. Oh, she too this and she too that. You are talking about a woman you could never get, even if you were wealthy. And you hate her for it. You hate her because you are not a compatible partner for her. And you absolutely want her. Those women that they tear down all the time, they want them. They can't have them. So they would rather resort to tearing them down. Lamar knew he was not an appropriate partner for April. And instead of trying, being kind to her, because that's a lot of things. Women, unfortunately, fall for men who are so beneath us. But oh, he was kind. Oh, he's funny. Oh, he listens. The bar's in hell, so it's the littlest things, right? He didn't even try because he had already rejected himself. Didn't even try. So he resorted to tearing April down because he knew that was the only way he could get a woman like that, is if she didn't know who she actually was. It's so upsetting. It's so upsetting. Yes, because are those Senegalese twist? I think Alonzo has Senegalese twist. I don't think that those are actually locks. Because when he pulled them down and they were like tight right here, I said, what's going on? Are those extensions, Alonzo? Child, NTR, you clocked it. NTR, you clocked it. Let me get some more comments. Hey, Greta, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being here, Greta. The Haitian Empress said, had I been on a date with Lamar, I would have asked him about how spontaneous he is to see it. We got that one. I forgot. That was a drag. Pettiest Betty said, I read a study about IPV. The reason the rates are much more high. Oh, I got this one too. Spency said, wow, why would you hate on her for that? They probably don't like that she is smart enough to not fall for their tricks. That's exactly what it is. I want a better cast of men. This is very unfortunate what the women are dealing with. This isn't fair. Like the women are literally being mentally and verbally abused. It's so upsetting how these men speak to them. It isn't fair. This is not fair. I will give you that, Sarah. But I feel like I've never seen a season of Ready to Love where all the men are garbage. Like no man here is redeemable. Maybe Chad. Or is it Shad? Maybe him. Who's the 47-year-old? Hold on. But see, it's too early. I'm nervous. I'm nervous to even go up for anybody. Because I'm just like, what if I go up for him and he just, next season he choking a woman out? Shad. He damn near 50 and trying to settle down. You see what I'm saying? Oh, Lord. Child. Absolutely. Absolutely. He absolutely is. He's leading with that. So that's the thing. I'm just like, he's not here to find love, and no woman should be in a relationship with him. I was in the streets. I need you to take me out the streets. I don't want to be like that no more. The reason why you were talking like that is because you are not ready to come out of that. You just want to gaslight a woman. This is what you want to do. You want to be in the streets. You want to still live that life, right? But then you want to come home to a chef and a maid in a warm hole. You don't want a woman, but you want a chef, you want a maid, and you want a warm hole. And then you want to be out there in the streets, tricking on younger women, probably Gen Z, who do not want you, because those women in that hotel room with him was not his age. That's what he wants to do. He does give Gerald Levert. He does give Gerald Levert. Miss GG88 said the women are super smart and accomplished while the men are still finding themselves. No, everybody had the same background, but I do think that Patricia, her picture was taken in a different part of like the same room, because there were like filing cabinets behind her. Why are there filing cabinets in your cast photo on your website? Where is the budget? Candace said between Nikki and the comments, I am screaming. And GG88 said maybe Patricia joined late. Even still, that was terrible. Simply Sakina said, oh, how can I Simply Sakina, how am I going to send you? I need to send you the link. I need to invite you. You know what I'll do? I'll just put the link in the chat. Whoever wants to join, just join. How about that? Because I'm like, how can I invite you? I don't have any of your information to contact you. I want to put the link in the chat. Whoever wants to join can join. Listen, they went to the unemployment line and said, who wants to be on this show for a little check? Hey, Tracy, the NikkiStar TV general said, wait a minute, why did I get a notification on Instagram but nothing on YouTube? I don't know. I'm so sorry. I made this earlier in the day. So I don't know why. I do not know why. I'm sorry. Miss GG88 said, I feel like Patricia maybe missed the cast photo shoot and had to take her own photo. But I just feel like, even still, why would you put that photo on? Like, that's just weird. NTR said, I would never understand men leading with sex on these shows. Sex is free for women. Son, it's not some allure. That's what I always say. Men are just very easy. Men are just very easy. It is so easy to have sex with a man. It's scary how easy it is to have sex with them. Very scary. Very scary. Thomas7 says, Shad used to be my manager. Oh, Thomas, drop some tea. How is he? How is he? Let's know. Let me know. Tracy said, 29 likes, Star Family. Please like the best live reviews on YouTube. Thank you so much, Tracy. Spency said, LMAO, hips always reminds me of the guy. Joan, that's where I got it from. Girlfriends. Britt said, I am so glad to be too old. NC said, I'm from Dallas, Fort Worth, and I can attest that the men here are, not sure what they were thinking doing back-to-back seasons in Dallas. Fort Worth last season was Dallas, and this season Fort Worth. They got to get out of Texas. Please don't go to New York. I think it'll be worse. The way he talks about himself and the women, I'm like, are you watching the same show, brother? In Texas. What's going on? What's going on? I agree. Ms. Gigi said, I don't think they should be sending people home on the first night. It's too soon. I absolutely agree. Someone say, leave me alone. Like, boy, what are you doing here? I hope so. We need somebody to come back. I'm like, it's not fair. The men are garbage, and they're not dealing with the same amount of men as women. So it isn't fair. Y'all got them fighting over these busters. Uh, um, and TR said, Nikki, starting to wonder if the imbalance in casting is to farm the rage of Black women for views. Listen, I wouldn't put it past this show because I'm like, how did any of these men pass casting? Like when you make it onto the show, you're the best of the best that applied. If this is the best of the best, absolutely not. Texas, y'all got some work to do. This is scary. This is scary. Below. Below. He is unemployed because why when a woman asks what you do for work, do you get upset? He didn't even say, oh, do you really need to know that? He said, why you need to know all that? Oh, because you don't have a job. You're literally on this show for housing and food. And you're mad that April clocked it. The Dear Show podcast says it's giving Gayle King dating a man who needs to borrow. It's a mess. Oh, he's broken and broke. Broker, that's pay his rent. No, he's looking for this show to help pay the person whose room he's sharing. He's either sharing a room with somebody, like buying a room in somebody's Airbnb, or he's paying to live in somebody's living room on an air mattress. That's what he's giving me. That's what he's giving me. Exactly. How in the hell is a master's degree a trigger? Miss Masters. That's not an insult. What are we doing? You don't want a successful, educated woman? Y'all crazy. Y'all crazy. They are mental. Mental. Drewski said, I haven't watched this season, but did see 2 clips of women walking out on their dates, and good. Both of those men are whack as hell. Oh, it's all of the men. It's all of them. Hey, Tracy. Tracy said, can everyone double check that you like the video? Thank you so much, Tracy. All right, guys, I am going to share the invite on here because I'm sorry. I don't know how to give it to you, but like if anybody else has an opinion, why not? I want to share it. Let me know if you see it and hop on in. Miss Gigi said, I was watching another YouTuber and Alonzo was in the comment section. Somebody in the comments said they used to date him. Poor thing. Was that the one that was in a situationship with him? Alonzo, that was very disappointing. Very disappointing. I feel like we could probably get through to you. Lamar, he's gone. He's gone. Them brown looker eyes, he gone. But you, Alonzo, you might be salvageable. You might be. Put the penis away. Put the penis away. Take your eyes off her boobs. Stop trying to smell her coochie and just have a conversation. Look in her eyes. Hear her. See her. Listen to her. Engage in conversation with a woman first. So many of these men on this show are acting like y'all only engage with women through porn or sex work. I feel like this generation's porn has just messed these men up. Y'all are on another planet. Thomas said April asked about Lamar's past relationships. That's what made. Oh, she did. You are right. That's what made him upset. Carmel Kisses said April definitely handled questions as if she was interrogating. It was a bit much. However, Lamar was way out of line and doing a lot. But that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to get to know people. And, I feel like those were like basic questions. None of what she said warranted that reaction. Simple Sakina's here. Britt said, I remember when men complimented my education and career goals. Sad times. Yep. It's scary. It's scary. They want you uneducated and poor so that they can feel tall. If you have to feel tall in any relationship, you don't need to be dating a human being. You need to get a fleshlight and a cabin, and that's where you need to live your days out until you die. You are going to have to do work in relationships. I don't know. This generation of men is so weird. I feel like it's Ronald Reagan's fault. This is the result of the crack epidemic. The Haitian Empress said, choking and spanking is in a non-sexual way. You know, like we used to. Like, what other context is choking and spanking? Like, how else do you take that question? It's crazy. It's crazy. And he never gave her the explanation because he meant it in a sexual way. SAKINA, what's up? Welcome, SAKINA, to the Star family.
Hi,
you're so pretty.
Thank you. I'm a little nervous.
You have thoughts.
I was not expecting this. I'm like really fresh off of my review, and I was like, oh my gosh, I just caught it live because I watch your videos all the time.
Oh, thank you so much.
Like, okay, well, I'm gonna have to get into my my panel mode because I do the Whether You Want It or Not with Scotty. So I'm like,
get into the panel mode. Just have fun. We're chatting. No, don't be professional. Let's just have fun.
I'm gonna keep it clean over here though, because I am a little I got a little potty mouth, but I'm gonna keep it real clean.
Be true. Welcome. Give us your thoughts. Go ahead.
You know, this season of Ready to Love, I think somebody in the comments, they did say, hey y'all, I think they did say that they feel like the season just gets worse and worse. And yeah. I agree. I do feel like the men just never add up to the women. That is something that is always constant. Like, why are there good quality women and then the men are just trash? It's slim pickings, and it's always confusion. I don't get it. The automatic no's for me, definitely Lamar. I hate his dismissiveness. It's like to me, Lamar thinks that he's the prize. And I'm like, I don't really like your behavior. I don't like him. Mm-hmm. I don't like Alonzo. It's just that goofiness. He like super goofy, and I just can't take him serious. Yeah. And another goof troop for me is Willie. I don't like Willie either. He reminds me of, because I live in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. He reminds me of Atlanta guys. Like,
oh really?
I would not be surprised if he just lives in Fort Worth, but it's from Atlanta. It's just something about his accent, his demeanor is just very an Atlanta guy, and that just automatically turns me off. Even though I was raised here, I just I can't do it. I can't do it. So it's just a lot of men on the cast that just don't do it for me. And I was hopeful for Jonathan. Mm-hmm. I had a question mark around him on episode 1, but this episode definitely solidified the no. I was like, no. Yep. Why is it okay for you to question the ladies about their relationship past, but when it comes down to the mother of your child and y'all's ex-marriage and whatnot, why is it an issue that they're asking questions about that? Especially when there's a baby involved. I think he said his baby is like, 2 years old or something? That baby is fresh out the womb.
I'm telling you, I think they live together. Because you're saying you haven't had sex with her in a year. Nobody believes you, bro.
We don't believe
Nobody believes you, bro. And the baby is 2. Get the hell out of here. You just said the baby had to come on this show.
Yes, I don't understand. I don't understand.
Kay is here. Hold on, Sophie. I want to bring her on.
God.
Hey.
Oh my God. First of all, Nikki, I'm obsessed with you. I've been watching your videos. My mom for years. I love
you guys. Thank you for being here.
Hey.
Jump right on in.
Yeah. I agree with everything you said. I'm from Toronto, and the men are the exact same. Copy and paste. I was like, I'm having flashbacks watching this. And
sad times.
The men get worse, but I also feel like, I don't know. I just feel like I want to have a balance. I feel like there's only men that are crazy on this show, and it does get worse and worse. I want to see some crazy women too. I don't know if it's just me. I'm like, where are the bad women too? I want to see them too. We need an equal mix.
Last season, what's the one who won the fight?
Last season had some nut jobs.
Tequila, that's what I call her.
Yeah. And I feel like I also do feel like they do want Black women to be mad, to be honest. They do.
Yeah.
And after that, I kind of feel like I want to cut out. Like, I'm like, I don't want to watch this anymore. I feel it's just going to be bait.
That's what I'm about to say. I feel like they're rage baiting Black women.
Yeah.
And it's so sad. Real quick, I want to first read off the jobs that all the women have, and then we're going to read off the jobs that the men have. Let's just go. Okay, so we're first going to start off with Alexis. She's 32, a national sales operator. April, 42, pharmacist.
Okay.
Nika, 37, esthetician. Koshia, 36, machine learning program manager and realtor.
She ate that.
Yeah. Then we have Leyland, 41, cyber security consultant. Maya, 31, healthcare IT consultant. Patrice, 43, transportation company owner. Patricia, 36, tech recruiter. Rashina, 39, hairstylist, salon owner. Vanessa, 35, flight attendant. Now let's get to the men. Dominique, 36, accountant, realtor, art studio owner. So one of them is the real job, and two is an aspiration, and another one is what he does for fun. Demonte, fashion stylist.
He lying.
He probably work at Sephora. Then we have Will, 32, real estate development CEO. Will, the CEO.
CEO.
CEO of what?
We don't believe you.
That's the thing. That CEO, I would have believed him, but when he hit me with that CEO, I'm like, nah. William, 38, financial advisor and comedian.
Funny where?
Wait. I feel like certain jobs, I was just talking to my mom, and certain jobs, people still don't believe are real. I feel like actor, model, comedian, when you say those things, people are like, sure. Okay.
Yeah. Like William, he could be. LaRon, 32, systems operation. You see what I'm saying? We don't know what system he operating, but that's what he telling. He put two words together, and we just got to go with it. Alonzo, insurance adjuster, call center manager. That's what that is. He manages a call center. Then we have Glenn, who never came on the show, 42, educator. I felt like Glenn, if he came on the show, he was either going to be seen by somebody who didn't need to see him, somebody he owed money, or a baby mama looking for child support. The way that Glenn was shaking in his boots, I'm like,
with the quickness, he skipped town.
Yes, I understand being nervous, but you're having a whole meltdown before you even get on camera. Something is going on.
That confessional was tragic. I was like, get it out.
And even the producer was like, are you okay? Then we have Jonathan, 37, recycling center owner. We come to find out later that that's actually his parents' business, and he's hoping that they'll leave it to him after this show. I'm not sure.
Aspiration.
I'm not sure. Then we have Lamar, unemployed. We're not even going to give his job any justification.
Yeah, no. 43,
coach and entrepreneur.
That entrepreneur has gotten a lot of people in trouble.
He's unemployed.
No, because when you say entrepreneur, do you mean drug dealer? Because I've gotten that a lot.
Listen,
a lot.
If he sells drugs, he's smoking up his own supply.
Oh,
he definitely gives me like 80s, 90s drug dealer power. I can see him as a character in Power. He's very
entrepreneur.
Chad or Chaz, he's the only guy that I believe. He's 47, a baked data and analytics senior manager. I actually believe that.
That's so long that it seems real.
Yeah, it's something about him. I'm like, he has money. And he's at the perfect age that men decide to settle down. So
how old is he again?
He's 47. He's the oldest person on the show.
I know the show is like, it's for grown folk. I clocked that from the first scene. I'm like, okay, this is like grown people. But then also it makes me think, like, you're no shade, like you're grown, but like, why doesn't anybody want you? Like that's me. Yeah, but I'm like, you're 50, but it makes me think, like, why are you single? And then when they tell their stories and they have like how many I'm like, oh, that's why you're single. That's okay.
Thank you for even bringing that up. These men and how they want these women to take care of their kids, right off the gate. I want you to accept my children right away. Hold on. What are we talking about? We're already meeting the kids. You already got me in the kitchen making lunch for the kids. What's going on? It's too much.
Yeah.
They want a maid, they want a caretaker, then they want a nanny and a warm home. They do not want to be in a relationship with women. And these women actually want partners and husbands. And it's so unfortunate. I feel so bad for these women.
Yeah.
Yeah. As you were listing off the jobs, can I just say, I love Black women. I love what? Every time I meet a Black woman at work, I'm like, girl, you ate. What's your salary? You ate that. I'm like, I see her in the hallway. I'm like, I love you.
Even a lot of the women are, especially after April, let everybody know that she has a master's. I feel like a lot of women are not going to lead with their jobs anymore, or talk about that or feel intimidated because that might be something to get them out right away. A lot of women are probably going to play down like Rashina. Oh my God, I hope Rashina knows that they're looking at her as a sugar mama. I hope she gets it. I'm like, girl, they trying to take your salon money.
Patrice is a willing one. She's a willing participant in the sugar mama club because she going after the young dudes. I don't know if y'all peeped, but when the group got together, when the two groups got together, Patrice grabbed Willie's arm and he's like 32, and she like dragged him to go talk to him. I was like, oh, it was a quick little scene. I was like, oh gosh, here she go with the youngest dude of the cast, just willing to.
Well, Patrice is on this show for penis. It's very obvious,
and that's fair. That's fair.
That's what I'm saying, girl. Have fun, because the way Alonzo was talking to her, I'm like, Patrice, you are not interested in him. You want to have sex.
I said, come on, like, are you kidding me? Out of all listen, it's slim pickings at this point. None of these men are prizes, okay? But you go for him? He gives me Nick Cannon. I said he reminds me. Picture Nick Cannon and Lisa Ray trying to date. That's what that image gives me. Like,
but this is the thing. When Patrice started entertaining him, I was like, I like Alonzo. I'm like, after that conversation, you're not scared. If you're not reaching for your mace, you want to bang him.
But I clocked that a lot of people don't have the same radar. Some people are just in their own world. They don't have the same radar. Or if they do, they're like, I'm just going to ignore it until it's beaten to a pulp and I have to acknowledge it.
Is there for sex. She's going to give Alonzo a little bit of money and kick him out of her bed. But the thing is, she has to wake up because Alonzo is going to try to get her pregnant.
Right, exactly. Yes.
He's weaponizing his sperm on this show. What if I get you pregnant? What the hell would you say?
That's a threat. That's a threat.
So like, why are we going there? Why do you think I'm about to just raw dog with you? Like, what's going on?
It was so like Koshia was like, huh? If I just happen to get you pregnant. Oh no, he pokes condoms. Stay away from him. Stay away from him.
Illegal. I think that is illegal.
It is.
It should be. That's a crime. Don't ever set me up.
No, but I kind of the going on the show for peeing thing is kind of real because I feel like I always thought that if I was on the show if I was on The Bachelor, for example, the showrunners would be pissed off at me. They'd be like, she's just picking the hot guy. She's not listening to anything we're saying. And I'd be like, what's the problem? I would just keep all the colored hot men, and then the South white viewers, which is their main fan base, to be honest, they'd be pissed. The ratings would go down because it's just for me. I kind of
have a great time.
Yeah, but I'd be the most hated. I would be the most hated, but I get it. Going on the show for just peeing, I think that's actually the best thing to do. Go on the show for followers and peeing, to be honest.
Well, see, this is the thing. Patrice doesn't need anything, right? Patrice has been married. She has her children or whatever. And she does, she's been there, done that. Now she's just having, her hot girl years, not summer years. Patrice is here to have a good and fun time because there was no other reason for her to entertain a conversation with Alonzo outside of sex. Like there was no, the stuff that he was saying, come on, Patrice. No way you're looking at him as a partner. I'm not believing it.
No way. And can we, okay. I have my gripe with the women on the show too. I guess this is both parties, the men and the women. they're so easily impressed by the slightest things. Like, what's her name? Maya. She really didn't get that much play the last episode.
Maya, yes, I'm so sorry I forgot to talk about her. She's so beautiful.
Yes, she won the game, the get to know the guys game on the last episode. Well, she was having a conversation with William, and he was talking about his adoption. She's like, "Oh my gosh, he feels so comfortable talking to me," and I'm like, he's just giving you information about his life. Like, don't take this like, this is just, you know, y'all's defining moment of closeness and y'all have this magnetic connection all of a sudden because he told you that he was adopted. Like, I don't know. I just don't get impressed by things like that. Thank you for sharing, but why are you taking this and running with it? I just...
See, this is the thing about Maya for me. I could be wrong, Maya, if you ever watch this. But I think that she is the kind of woman who would say yes to a lot of things, right? To be in a relationship with someone. Because the way she was going up for these men and like, oh wow, oh yeah, I'm like, they're not funny, they're not even attractive. Why are you going up like that?
Yeah,
Why are you going up like that? Maya looking for a husband, and I'm like, I'm poor thing, not with this batch of men.
No, the lineup is just so, I can't. And then even with what is his name? LaRon, the way he was smacking on that catfish and not really into what Patrice was saying. What?
All of the men are here for sex. All of the men are here for sex. Remember them questions that Uncle Tommy was asking? All of those questions, and I'm like, what? Why are we asking about like education, family? It's I'll tie you up, I'll drink, punch out your coochie. What the hell are these questions? Why are they so nasty?
Yes,
it's just so uncomfortable. Like listening to the things that they were saying, I'm like, I don't have a problem with that stuff, right? But I'm just saying, like, you're getting to know people.
This is too soon. It's too soon.
It's what you're leading with.
I feel like sometimes you have to explain, and I don't like to say this because you shouldn't have to explain these things necessarily, but sometimes you have to explain to men that getting to know somebody is like life foreplay before you get to sex. They always want to jump into that part, and I'm like, honestly, when you started talking about that, I zoned out. Like I did. Like, I'm not. We don't. This isn't what you think. Yeah,
it's uncomfortable, and it's like I don't know what the issue is because it's just like your hand was doing the work for you, and all of a sudden you meet a woman, and it's just like, oh, we need to have sex.
Yeah.
Why can't you still do the same thing you was doing and get to know this woman, and then when she's comfortable to have intercourse with you, y'all can have sex? Why all of a sudden? I got to get her. It's very scary. These men are acting like sexual deviants, and it's so concerning.
Yeah. It's very thirsty. Immature.
Let me answer this. Let me bring up NTR's comment because I've had this up for a minute. I'm so sorry, NTR. But NTR said the show got plenty of views from that African man yelling at that woman last season. Why not do it again? I kind of agree with you because I remember the show going viral because Chris, I don't know his name, but Nigerian Rumpelstiltskin.
Chris.
Mm-hmm. Yes. He was awful.
Yeah. But you know what?
Women was very scary.
That was another reason why I was giving Jonathan the side eye. The moment that he said he was Nigerian, I said,
I didn't want to do it. I was like, oh, okay.
I said, hold on. Because Chris from last season was Nigerian as well. He was the one smiling and, you know,
and from Texas. I'm like, these Texas Nigerians, let's get a Nigerian from New York or something. I mean, we got to pick from a better stock because something is going on.
I said,
something is going on.
He's Nigerian, and I think I seen a brand on Jonathan's arm. I think he's a Q dog. If I'm not mistaken, I said,
you know what? He is in a lot of purple. Oh, absolutely.
Wait, I was just peeping.
Absolutely not.
So Jonathan, yes.
Oh, what are you gonna say? When you say purple, are you referring to? I feel like we're using code words. Are you? What are you referring to?
Q Dogs, the fraternity. They wear purple and gold, and he had a yellow shirt on this last episode.
I'm so sorry. I'm very Canadian. I was like, what are you talking about? What is going on? In Canada, there's like there's the black men. They're like the it's like
No, not Black Israelites.
yes. I was like, they're like black Israelites, and they wear purple all the time. I thought that's what you were
Very
talking about.
similar. But
And
they're
very-
not-
They're always
very
outside the mall.
similar.
They're always outside the mall. They're telling me I shouldn't wear pants. I'm like, listen, I'm not one to convert. I promise you, I'll ruin your life.
I wouldn't be surprised if this cast of men they found them at a Black Israelite training facility.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. These men are terrible. Terrible.
Listen here. Yes, you got to keep your head on a swivel and just a lookout. You can't give these men nothing too soon on this show because they always reveal themselves. And shockingly, they're starting to reveal themselves way earlier on. So it's like
that's the thing.
Yeah.
Like you can't even like. There was no like build up. They just came out right out the gate. Let's go skinny dipping. What is that talking about? What's happening?
I feel like in recent years, since literally the fourth wave of feminism, women have been saying they want honesty, and men hear that and they're like, "Oh, you want me to say everything that's on my mind?" No. That's not what I said.
okay. And real quick, because I didn't want to address that. It just feels like though that shock value that the guys are using, like, oh yeah, let me rattle them up real quick. Let me say something off the wall to, see what their response is. That's not funny. It's not funny. It's not entertaining. It's not mature. Why are you trying to get a reaction out of me? What is your game? I don't really understand that. I know that was Alonzo's way of thinking. It's
Lamar
with the look of eyes.
Lamar.
Yeah. That was his way of thinking, like, no, this is not working. And there's people who are not self-aware. They really bother me. Like, yeah, so y'all don't know that y'all are not, y'all don't realize that you're annoying, that this is not appealing, that this is not going to win the women over. And clearly Lamar is very oblivious for him to think that him and Patrice had some type of connection down at the painting date. When you're sexualizing everything down to the cereal
thing. I was like, Patrice, leave this date. He's being so inappropriate. Can I put this paint all over your body? What the heck? What's wrong? Take a shower, dude.
It's I think also it's like this is like the first time some people have been on camera. They just think they should stay there because the producers are looking at you. Yeah. Everyone's looking at you, the cameraman's looking at you, and you're just like you do things that you wouldn't normally do. In real life, she probably would have just got up.
True.
But when there's so much pressure and people are going to watch and criticize what you do, if you call you a diva and such, a lot of people are just going to stay and wait.
I agree.
Although I would feel safer with all the cameras. I'd be like, great, I can just leave and people can kill me. Great, let me just
I thought she was probably gagged that he was even saying half of something.
Probably.
Like, why would you say this to me and then on camera? There's no common sense. Che said, is it nephew Thomas misogynist? He's like a frat guy and always shows the men favor. I will say, from my 3 seasons of watching the show, I agree with this comment. He is so lenient on the men. And I always am just like, oh, he's nephew Tom, he's going to come in and get them together. But he never does that. And he always says that he handpicked these people. He talks about how he's a part of the casting process a lot.
Oh, well,
and
I'm like, that's worse.
You pick these men? And he doesn't say anything.
Don't let them be a Kappa.
Yeah, he sees all the footage. He watches everything. And you don't say, I can't believe he didn't say anything to Alonzo.
There was a season.
So crazy.
I don't know if it was last season. There was a season where one of the women said that it was like one of the guys spoke to her inappropriately. And I remember his only thing that he said, I can't remember who it was, but he said, okay, if it happens again, tell me. I was like, wait.
I think I know what season you're talking about. I think it was last season. I think it was last season. I think it was the season before last. I remember the moment, but I do not remember the name.
I remember thinking it. I mean,
I remember having the same moment. I was like, wait, what?
Was it the breast situation where the dude was like, he'll...
Yes.
That was last season. Janelle...
yes.
It was the dude Habibi with the
imposter guy.
The imposter. Yes.
He was a character. He was quite... Did he play the saxophone? I hated him.
Yes. He was cosplaying Arab and nobody called him out.
My God.
It's wrong.
Yes.
He was in what country? He was in
He said that he lived in Dubai.
Like
Yes,
Dubai
he lived
or something. Yeah.
Oh
He
my
said
God.
he lived in Dubai, but nobody could confirm it. I'm like, oh, another scammer.
So it's
Another
like,
scammer on this
show
show.
me, open your phone and show me pictures of Dubai right now.
Right.
They probably have, like Google search and Getty images on the bottom of the picture.
I call him Travis the Imposter because that's his real name, Travis.
Yeah.
And then Habibi on the show.
I'm telling you, thank you so much for bringing that up because I remember being gagged. I'm like, this man made her sexually uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And you said, if he does it again, let me know. I knew for sure that he was getting cut from the show.
Yeah.
And nothing happened. And it wasn't even said, it wasn't nothing even said to him. It was said to her. If he does it again, let me know. What?
And then one of the girls was like, but I like Habibi. I was like, girl.
Oh, Tequila. The one who
now, Amma, you had a whole season last season of Nut Job Women. Because she was crying over him.
She was crazy. Janelle was crazy. The one who he made the comment towards. The girls last season were crazy. Jessica had her ways.
Yeah.
Were on something too.
I need it to be even every season though. I don't like when it's just the men being crazy. I'm like, well.
But this is the real world, okay? The men are crazy in real life.
It's the real world, but I also do not think that even the show, I know they cast them. I don't think they expected for the men to all collectively be awful from jump. Like I don't think that you as a producer can predict that. There's no way they could have seen that these men were all going to go this way. Right out the gate, Jonathan. Well, I used to sleep with my baby mama. I don't anymore, but she's still not over me. Why in the hell would you say that?
Like, sometimes you just have to give a head tilt. Like,
Well, you know what? I will say, after Jonathan said that, I was like, okay, now I know why you're being evasive about your past. Because there's nothing good to say. There's nothing good to say. And if Jonathan lasts on this show, we're going to meet the baby mom, the ex-wife.
Oh,
we're going to meet her. And I want her. I want to
yeah,
I want her to tell me the truth.
His excuse was, what did he say? The excuse for the divorce was communication. I said, communication? Are you sure?
Mm-hmm. I can't wait to hear what she's gonna say.
Cause he damn sure acting like he's the victim. You know, I was holding stuff in and I was letting it fester, and you know, my choice of words are different now. So what was you saying?
Exactly. I can't wait. If he lasts, I'm telling you, I need a whole episode with her. Because I want them women to ask every question that
I feel like he's gonna last. I do feel like he's gonna last.
But
I can see it.
Any show where because it happened on The Bachelor with, I can't remember her name, the pretty black girl who looks like a Barbie.
Charity.
Yes. Any guy that says his ex was such and such, I literally don't believe you. You're lying and you did something to her. And I want to know what it is.
Well, remember that guy on Charity season, the one that was talking about how bad the ex was? Then it came out that he went on a passport bro trip and had sex with like everybody in the Dominican Republic.
And she said, okay, so do you see yourself being able to not do that in the future? And he goes, it would be hard. What?
Yes. And but then he said it'll be hard, but I basically got to test out your vagina first to see if I want to commit.
Did he get eliminated?
Yeah. Thank Christ. No, but she froze. She was like,
listen, I was watching the show and I froze. I was like, why would you say that? What's going on with them?
Maybe your time here is cut short. You're out of here.
I do not know what's going on with men, but the stuff that they are saying, and I'm like, oh, you said be honest. I said be honest, not diabolical.
Okay. But at the same time, thank you, because you're out of here. You're out of here. I just can't.
Cut. I am, and I feel so bad for Koshia because I feel like the way that she is going to react next episode has everything to do with the interaction that she had with Alonzo.
Yeah.
Everything to do with that. And I feel like the show is going to try to make her look crazy. Like they are not responsible for that reaction because I could not believe that they had Lamar and Alonzo meet with the women. The two most controversial men so far, you have Alonzo sit down with Koshia, who told y'all she made him uncomfortable.
Yeah.
He made her uncomfortable. You had him sit down with her, and he didn't even like try to have a conversation with her. It was all about what she's doing wrong and how she didn't hear what he said correctly.
When I tell you I was fuming. I was fuming watching that. Like, you really gonna sit here and play in this woman's face?
Yep.
I literally said the same thing. So it's either you're talking about abuse or you're talking about pleasure. Because it doesn't make sense.
There's no other option. And he never gave her the understanding of what he was saying.
Like, are we living in the Twilight Zone right now? So when she got up, I said,
me too. I was happy for her.
You got to leave at that point because you can't reason with unreasonable people. You can't reason with crazy.
That's true.
This is
ridiculous. It's about the embarrassment. It's not really about what she's really doing wrong or what things that she can really work on. Because everybody on the show has things that they can work on. But it's not really about productivity. It's just about letting her have it before she leaves. Letting her feel like poo before she leaves. Yeah. I swear on this. But
I wish we could talk to her. Because she could find these comments and get in here. Because we need to know what's really going on. Because I honestly feel like the men and the show are going to try to like villainize her because she set boundaries and she speaks her mind. I do feel like I feel like the interaction from the trailer for next week, I do feel like she kind of flew off the handle a bit because taking it directly to like wanting to fight this woman, there's something else going on there and you have to handle that situation. But I don't think this show was a good environment for her.
But I do kind of sense a bit of pick me energy from her as well.
Ooh, let's dive in.
I do because, she was saying that she was raised up to, be a wife. When I hear things like that, I am kind of like,
yeah.
You was raised up to be a wife. Okay. She likes LeBron. Why do you like him? There's nothing appealing about this man who is out from Wednesday.
This is what I think. I feel like she found LeBron's Instagram and she went back to like his high school and early college days pictures and was just like, I feel like I can get this back. Girl, LeBron is going to be Gerald Levert for the rest of his life.
Yes, like he does. I say he looks like Mr. Ray from Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, and he was on College Hill. Mr. Ray.
Yes!
They look like they could be brothers. It's crazy to me.
Yes, they really do. That's a good comparison.
I feel like something Thomas needs to start asking is because so I went to start to go into therapy anyways, but I like this guy and my therapist asked me, name things that you like about him. Because she was like, I don't understand. And I couldn't list them. I was like, I actually don't know. I think Thomas needs to start asking, name 10 things you like about him. Because a lot of the women are going off, honestly, a fairy tale or delusion. We need real results. Like, I feel like none of the reality shows, actually, I feel like all the bizarre reality shows where it's like a beach have more results than the shows that are supposed to be romantic and adult. Mm-hmm. Like, why are the shows that they're on their skinny dip and they're too hot to handle? They have like 4 couples on all these shows. Woo. And they're getting engaged, but these shows it's not working.
Shoot, that's where the men need to be on Too Hot to Handle with these responses. Like,
maybe
these men need to start in prison and then prove their way out. I will say this. I'm gonna just piggybacking off what you said about asking them the 10 things that they like about the men. I think he would never ask that, one, because I don't feel like he sees the women fully. I think he really relates to these guys because I guess it's like a fraternity brother kind of vibe for them. So he relates to them in a way where he probably sees himself in them. And this show, in my opinion, is really about getting these terrible men to connect with a great catch in a woman. Because if you look at it, the women have always just had great careers and a lot of times are older than the men. Why is that? Because after a woman has gotten her education, she has a career and she's settled, now she's ready for a family, right? So a lot of these women can't say the 10 things that they'll never be able to say that, because what they like about this guy is that they're at the moment where they want to have a partner, they want to have a family, and they're going to try to make this dude fit. That's the thing. They're going to try to make this dude fit into their lives. And I feel like this show is set up for mediocre men to find amazing Black women partners. And it's so unfair. But seeing how Tommy deals with the men compared to the women, he knows. He knows that these men outside of the show will never be able to stand in a room with these women.
Exactly.
So he's doing a favor.
Exactly.
In favor.
It's a lot of I have this like theory that a lot of men think that they're owed a woman. Like when they get to a certain age, they're like, but where's my woman? Where's my doll? Where's my I'm supposed to have a woman now. And so it does feel like they're trying to get them with the best, which by their standards, if men are like supposed to be the higher ups, shouldn't it be the opposite?
Yeah, it should be. Something is wrong with this stock. This stock of men is scary. They're unemployed and they want to leave.
They're divas a little.
Yes. It's just like, how do you think, like, you know what it is? It's Simone Biles' husband. It's a fall season of Simone Biles, because the fact that man still to this day thinks that he is the prize in that relationship. I'm sorry.
He said he don't know her.
Agrees.
Your wife is going to be in history books. You will not. If you are in history books, it will be Simone Biles' husband. We still don't know his name.
I actually don't know his name.
I seriously don't know that man's name.
But he's standing next to this giant, and he's just like, I'm a prize.
Baby, you're looking for a come up. And that's funny because before he did that interview, me and my friend will always talk about that. Like, he's using her. We just knew it. And then to hear him in that interview and she backing him, I'm just like, girl, stop.
Ready to Love. It's the season of Ready to Love. It's Maya. Oh, he's so hilarious. I love that he opened up. Girl, what? You need to keep your hand on your mace when you talk to these men.
Yeah. Exactly. Easily impressed by the bare minimum. And I can't. And that's why I get annoyed with the men too. What was it? Willie? He said in Tommy's Lounge that one of the ladies made him feel safe.
From what?
You don't know her.
Safe from
you
what?
Don't know her. Safe how?
From what? Are we in a bounty hunt? Safe from what?
Willie be saying anything.
Literally, my face be tore up the whole episode. What are y'all talking about? What's going on?
Nothing. Spency said, I dated a man who had a 2-year-old, and he is now posting he has dated, I think he's talking about his baby mom since before she was born. So wait, so he had,
yeah, so yeah, he's still dating her.
Yep. Jonathan.
That's the love of his life. Yeah.
Baby, Jonathan. I have been in experiences with men. Now I'm 30, okay? So I'm still a little young, you know?
Yes, you are.
But, you know, in my early 20s, mid 20s, I have dealt with men who had kids. And listen, both men are back with the baby moms. Don't do it, ladies. Don't do it. Listen to me. Yeah. Don't do it. They always go back. They spin the block. They still dealing with you and them. Don't do it.
Kayla said if the baby is under 5, he still be between her thighs.
Thank you.
All it takes is one joint birthday party.
Yeah.
And the family telling them to take pictures together.
Yeah.
It's a wrap.
The joint birthday party, the baby, you got to come over here. The baby had an injury. I don't know. The baby done fell and scraped her knee. Oh, let me come over there.
Yeah.
They gotta go to the
emergency room together with the baby. Ciao. It's over.
I just feel like if he says he has a baby mom, just assume that's the love of his life. That's the love of his life. I'm like, you're gonna marry her. Congrats, mazel tov. Ahead of time.
I'm not into her, but she still may have a thing for me. Get out of here, boy.
Like mazel tov ahead of time, sweetie. Yep. I'm so happy for you. You're gonna get married. Like, that's your wife. What are you talking about? You love her.
Gary said, if the baby is under 8, he's still getting a cake. Today. My God, today. Let me get some more comments. Toya.Star said, I'm loving this live interaction. Thank you all for supporting NikkiStar TV. Thank you, panelists.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much for being here. Of course. Blue Jay said, I would say the pregnancy conversation sounds very familiar to what a young man would say and not an older man.
Yeah.
Yup. Patrice gonna find herself stuck with Alonzo.
Yeah, because that's not it.
Nope. Britt says, as an older woman, let them know how accomplished you are. You are the prize. Let me tell you something. April got cut from this show, but she did herself a favor. She did herself a favor.
And I said the same thing about Miss Black Lady in TIK. Patricia, I think that was her name, the one who got eliminated first. I said, listen, you said it yourself that you were not seeing a connection with anybody at that point.
Yeah. True.
You are lucky because this pool of men ain't it.
Yeah. Thank you for bringing that up. The feet licking. What is going on?
Yup. I mentioned that too, because what's happening? Why in every episode are we talking about y'all's feet fetishes? Foot fetish? That doesn't make sense.
Right out the gate, we into fetishes. Like, that's a later conversation. We leading with fetishes now?
It's just a bunch of Dan Schneiders all over the scene, and I'm really confused. I don't know where it became actually, I'm not shocked because I feel like my mom is in her, not even that. My mom is in her 40s and she talks about how men used to do that when it was the 90s. So I don't really think it's different. I just think that we're experiencing it. It's just out in the open. It's also on TV. I always feel like, why are they not embarrassed to say these things on TV? Like, aren't your parents watching? Isn't your family watching you?
OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Okay.
OnlyFans.
I'm telling you, it's porn, and it's also the community that they're in do not hold them accountable. But they also act a certain way in certain communities. Like the stuff that these men are saying on TV, they would never say at their job.
Right.
You know what I mean? They know what to say and what environment. But this environment that they're in, they speak like this and they're never checked. Because listen, Nephi Tommy not going to check these men.
Yeah.
He sure ain't.
But I'm thinking that there's a disconnect because they're grown, and I always feel like that age group, they think they're tech savvy, but not as much. Because if you say something online, you might as well have said it at your job. Everybody saw it.
Yep.
I know
that, but when you're older, you kind of just are like, this is two separate arenas. I'm like, no, it's the same thing. Everybody can see.
Yeah. The Haitian Empress said, I wonder if missing size Lamar will speak the same way when the elimination shoe is on the other foot. When he is eliminated, that's going to be a really dark episode because I see him being very nasty when he's eliminated.
Yep.
It's going to be a really dark episode. I'm going to get a few more comments and then we're going to get out of here. You know, I don't like to hold you over 2 hours. I'm so sorry. MD said, LMAO and all that talk, he couldn't get an implant. He's unemployed. Where was he getting an implant from?
MD doesn't have any money.
Where was he getting a plane ticket to Turkey to get the implant? It wasn't going to happen.
It's to do that.
It wasn't going to happen.
Turkey.
The N and the H said that was the only episode I ever saw, and didn't he say something about a woman's mother? I never watched the show again after that.
Her baby. Yes, he said
baby.
Her mama wasn't ish. Mm-hmm.
He said, yeah. He said it kind of like in passing, like as a key, but that's like when you say to your friend, not to somebody you just met. You don't say that to somebody you just met. You don't.
Right, like, yeah.
And she was like,
another guy who thought that shock value was going to do something for.
But I also think that a lot of them like the shock. They like to see the fear in women's eyes. They like it.
Yeah, that makes them feel tall. Like if they can't, the women, especially for Black women, we are out learning and out earning Black men, right? So the only way they can make us feel small is through colorism and being fat phobic. right?
Yeah.
So it's, oh, she's too dark for me. Oh, she's too big for me. They go to the same thing. It's either weight or color. They have nothing else to pull from. So they normally do that with women they need to make feel smaller. Don't you ever be around a black man and feeling yourself, especially a black man that ain't worth change for a quarter. Oh, he's going to say something to try to make you feel less than, because he's intimidated by just your presence. So he's probably going to go after the one thing that makes you feel weaker, the one thing you've been attacked about the most. So he'll try to find something that he thinks is an insecurity, and he'll poke at it until you're at the point where you are now asking him how you can be a better woman. It's psychological abuse if you really think about it.
It is. It is.
Sure.
Because there are a lot of women who have been in relationships with men who have just taken them down, right? And then they get out of those relationships and they're just like, I can't believe that that's what I thought about myself. I can't believe I felt that way. I can't believe that I did that. It's so much like healing that they go through. And they talk about, oh, I'm reclaiming myself. I'm getting back to who I was. It's so much of a like blossoming after they come out of that relationship. A relationship should never be that. It should be like happy and joyous. You're finding yourself after a relationship.
Yeah.
Because that man took everything from you. You were probably a fly girl before you got with him. Now all of a sudden you shopping at Joann's. Let me stop. There's nothing wrong with Joann's. I apologize.
Shout out to Joann's.
It's just for a different type of person.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you get your fabric and make yourself. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's like a lot of men just they want to, because they can't see themselves soaring. So they would rather cut a woman's wings who they think is soaring and put her in a cage and siphon her power. And until she gets away from him, she will never be that fly girl again. It's so like it's a sad state for women. You're so sorry, Star Family. Got a little dark.
No, that's real though. That is real.
Do you guys? This is from MD. She said, "Do you guys remember Shiloh from seasons ago? Tommy didn't do much about that situation either. Do you guys remember? I don't.
That's DC? It's the DC season. Are they talking about the Phil and Shiloh situation when she was in an alley and he like? He tried to get her in the car.
Yeah.
What?
I remember that. He lifted her up and
she was like a drunken mess, and she went down an alley, a dark alley, and was trying to, just
walk it off.
Yeah. And he was like, no, it's late. It was like the middle of the night in DC. And he was like, nah, you can't do that. So he tried to get her in the car, and that was like a whole situation.
He picked her up. But
something like that.
He was like, why don't you just follow me then? You don't have to pick me up.
Yeah.
It was like a whole thing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I will say this. I feel like this show, I know this is probably Nephew Tommy's show that he pitched to own Will Packer and own. I think he needs a female counterpart. I think there needs to be a woman looking over the women on the show. He's not doing it.
His wife
is not doing it. Yes, he talks about all the time.
Yeah,
like she got a feature one season. I think it was one season, and it's like, okay, can we get her because shoot, Haitian Empress said not his wife.
Oh Lord, listen, you don't know what she might say. The end of the day said men want marriage because they want someone to take care of them. They just want a mother. They want a mother that they can bang. That's it. They don't want partnership and love.
That's very much so a turnoff. Don't look at me to save your life, to book your appointments, to keep your house clean. These are basic skills that you should have as a human being. Don't wait until a woman comes into your life for these things to fall in place.
Yeah. For the host, I was gonna say for a host, a counterpart, I think we need a woman who's gonna be on the women's side, like an egregious amount, like bias. We need like Gabrielle Union. Like she's not gonna support them at all. She's gonna be like, he's wrong, he's absolutely wrong, and so that'll even it out. We need two toxic people on there, two hosts. We don't need two good hosts.
I agree. Asha said my parents started messing around again when I was 15. Stay away from neighborhoods.
It ain't no age then.
You see?
Ciao. See what we talking about? See what we talking about? The Haitian Empress can't lose. Oh wait, hold on. Can't lose a job if you don't have. I know that's right. I was just like, why is he so mad at her? Just asking the basic questions.
Where do you work?
Oh, no. You need to know all that? What?
Like, why did you get on the show about dating and then feel like these questions are not going to be, your history is not going to be asked?
Right.
Yes.
The only reason you should have that answer is if you're a secret agent. Do you work like you don't have a secret job, baby.
Or if you don't have no job.
Yeah.
You're deflecting.
He don't have a job. On the first episode or his first episode, I think that was last week. Remember, he's a DJ/coach. They were asking him about his career. He was speaking about his coaching career in a past tense. That man is not coaching anybody's football team, basketball team, and he ain't DJing nowhere. He actually gave me a little PTSD. The comedian DJ reminded me of Red from last season, and he was a mess.
Was the last season there was like she said you have a thought job, and that really got that guy upset. But he did. I was like, well,
let's talk about that.
You do a little.
From watching the show the past couple seasons, it's very scary how angry these men get with the women.
Yeah.
Over the side.
Like, there's no restraint. Like right off the gate, it's just met with verbal violence. And I'm like, hold on. Like, what's happening here? Why are y'all so angry? And they just get mad. You got to be held back, and a woman got to walk up and get away from you. Yes. I'm like, if you were like this on camera,
yeah.
Imagine behind the scenes.
Just terrifying how angry they get at women. I forget that guy last
The go-karting scene.
Yes.
Wait, what happened?
She won a go-karting, and he looked like he was going to fight her.
Wait, was that last season?
Yes.
Last season was crazy too, guys.
It's like I vaguely remember that. I feel like I vaguely remember everything else, but like I vaguely remember that.
She was like, I won. Yeah, he was bragging, and she was like, you don't have to brag. And then he just blew up. I was like, girl, baby, we're at a children's game. This is go-karting. It's for kids.
It's crazy.
Teresa and Zoe. Okay, yes, I knew that wasn't last season. That was Miami.
Yep.
Yes. That was a mess. That was the men
very
are
scary.
Very sensitive and very strange. And I would not be surprised if they did extensive background checks and found some things with these men.
That's where I was going to go. I'm like, are you doing background checks?
No, they're not.
I know they can't. There's no way, because you're absolutely not checking if these men are employed.
Or they are, and they're putting them on for mess on purpose.
Probably, because at the end of the day, it is a TV show.
Because I think they'd want to make sure that they're not like criminals, but if they see things that they know aren't really the greatest things for somebody to date, they're still going to put them on. They're like, great.
Yeah, shock value. Let's keep him.
I will say this. If this is the quality of men that we're getting on this show, maybe, just maybe, we can open up the date, the men picking to non-violent approval. Maybe, because if this is the men, maybe a man with like a one-time scamming charge. I don't know, because the free men, the one that are not incarcerated, this is garbage.
And I don't want to be that girl, but incarcerated men be looking so good sometimes.
They are.
I'm like, whoa.
I told the story about how I went to go visit my father in prison. I could not stay focused.
You was distracted.
Everybody was gorgeous. I'm like, oh my goodness.
And they're gorgeous. They haven't seen a woman in a really long time.
Everybody was beautiful. My dad was like, stop staring. You're going to get me in trouble.
Child.
I was just like, why would you commit a crime? You're so beautiful. And we're left out here with these angry, broke, free ones. It's not fair.
If they're gonna get out and act up too.
Well, this is the thing. If you're gonna be terrible, at least be fine. These men are fine. They're not fine. They're not employed.
Yeah, they're not fine at all.
No,
and that's what I just didn't understand. Like when Tommy said, Fort Worth's finest, I said, this the fine?
Is the fine in the room with us now?
It's not. It's not.
I feel like the women that go on the shows they're gorgeous. Like the women are beautiful. This is coming from a straight woman. I'm like, you're serving. You're all serving, and the men, I'm like, what's going on? Something's lacking.
The issue with the women for me, honestly, I feel like Ready to Love hasn't been right since they left Houston. I feel like Houston was their last good seasons.
I agree.
Fashion wise, the ladies just have not been bringing it since Houston either. Like I need the wigs to be laid if y'all won't wear them. And if you can't lay a wig, braids. You know, you can go to the go-to. Get you some braids, some faux locks, something. So sometimes I feel like the women are missing the mark when it comes down to the fashions. Because I mean, you on TV, I want to see you, bring some looks. I want to see that.
Yeah.
I feel like that's missing for the ladies.
Yeah, but you know what? I'll excuse it on this season because I'm just like, oh my God, you already are doing too much.
Yeah.
Y'all already are doing too much for these men. None of them are worth it.
Yeah, this group of men, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I just wish that they would listen to the viewers. Yeah. We know what's best for the show. Hell, we watching it.
Yes.
Listen to the viewers. Get on Twitter. Listen to YouTube reviews. Like the feedback is great. I feel like we would not steer the show in the wrong direction. And the people who are doing this professionally, the people behind the scenes, they ain't doing it right. They're not doing it right.
I think they also have a block. Like I went to film school, and like when you're actually the producer, sometimes you're so bombarded with so many things that you can't see straight, and you need outside opinion.
Yeah.
And when shows listen to outside opinion, that's when the success comes, to be honest.
Exactly.
Even like the formula of the show, I actually still to this day do not know why they eliminate people. Like I don't get it, but I watch it. Yeah, like I'm like, why are we doing this again? I don't get it.
Well, eliminating, listen, some people need to go.
That's true.
That's needed. I always said that Ready to Love needs to take a piece of are y'all familiar with Are You the One from
yes.
Oh, I used to love that show. I'm mad it's not on anymore. Yeah. But I feel like they needed to take a bit of Are You the One's approach as far as having these people in the house that have a connection. They have to figure it out.
Yeah.
And go from there. I broke it down like very, very eloquently in one of my Ready to Love reviews. I'm just kind of getting a block right now. But it was a mix of Ready to Love, Are You the One, and some other dating show that I felt like they should have taken a page from. But yes, they can definitely switch up this formula and the show can be way better than what it is.
Yeah.
Definitely. Here's the thing. I don't understand why a show that's on a network marketed towards Black women has a large audience that is Black women would even attempt to put this kind of show on the air with at least with this cast and last season's cast. I'm just like, why? I would be wanting love connections. I would be wanting like multiple like positive interactions on this show because that would make me as a Black woman want to watch this show more. But again, this is the same network that gave us Black Love. And are any of those couples together?
That Black Love curse. And when I tell you, I used to love that show. I'm ashamed to say it.
Can I tell you? Me and my sisters used to watch that crying.
Listen, I used to go up for Black Love, and now I'm just like,
I'm embarrassed.
I don't want to tell y'all this, but I just got to speak my truth.
Listen, I won't say how old I'm a baby. That show came out when I was a teenager. I was actually a young teenager.
How old are you?
You can guess.
24.
22.
That great. We have so many shows. I love it.
Yeah, that show came out when I was a teenager. And I remember watching it and being a little bit perplexed because that's when I'm learning about Black love. Like, I'm learning about this in my baby mind, and I'm watching this and I'm like, something's not right. Like, something's a little bit off. How come all of you, first of all, what was the commonality of all the women essentially begging the men to be with them? That was strange.
Yeah, some of those stories was a little wild.
And then even the lesbian couple, I was like, what's going on? What's I thought
I will say this. The last 2 seasons were insane. The one where I think that couple, like, somebody like had to die for their love towards. I was like, absolutely not. In the beginning, you're watching it and it's just like, oh, she got sick and I quit my job and I moved across the country to take care of her. And we weren't even dating, but that's when I knew I wanted to be with her for the rest of the earlier seasons. Oh, just watching
earlier ones was definitely pulled on my heartstrings.
Yes.
But you know what show really got me?
Which one?
Where I was just like, what the hell is really going on? That show, what was it, Behind Every Black Man?
My mom made me watch that every week. She talked about what was that? Who was that? Oh, somebody's mom. My mom sat there for like an hour telling me about this, and I can't remember whose mom it was, but she had to. Oh my God, I'm losing my mind. Either way, the stories, I was like, what? And then it's like, what is the young girl's job? Like, what are we teaching young girls? What are they watching?
Yes. I think because I never forget, they had a promotion for it. And I think it was Stevie J and Faith Evans was on there. They were supposed to be, I said, immediately
absolutely not. Absolutely not. No. All the content now, Black women are suffering.
Yeah.
What the hell is this? How is this for us? This is depressing.
And even so, it's like, I'm like, when I'm looking at my little cousins, boy cousins, I'm like, they shouldn't be watching this thinking that this is what they're going to aspire to. They're aspiring to nothing.
But we're played on social media and everything else, like the red pill.
Yeah. Do you remember that Black Love episode where, and this couple, I think the guy was a boomer and the lady was Gen X, but she was talking about how they weren't even together. He was with somebody else and she got his name tattooed on her butt.
Yes.
I missed that episode. Oh no.
This lady at her grown age was just like, and I got naked in front of him and I turned around. And
this is yours.
Yes, this is yours. Oh my God. I said, you said that you told the world this at your big age? And he was smiling. I got him. That's when I started checking out.
I feel like the cameraman was standing there like,
if I was a producer, I would be like, Oprah, we don't have any footage for this season. Like, I can't use any of this.
But they hear the stories before, so they already know.
Yeah. Like, what's happening? This is crazy.
That's when I checked out. I was like, oh, I'm good. I won't ever be back.
No.
But in watching these shows, I was actually doing some research on, I'm Canadian. So we have, sometimes you guys say stuff and I'm like, what is that? But, but like, yes, a lot. I always think our culture is the same. It's not really.
Yeah.
Okay. I would think so too.
But I was just doing some studying on about how like there's gender equality in like the number of women versus the number of men in the U.S. of Black women and men, and I think that's why we're getting this kind of. For example, like in I think in China they had the same problem because they used to kill like the little baby girls. So when they got older, there was just a lot of men and no women. So women started to get diva-ish. Like, you have to prove yourself to me because I got 5 other dudes right here and they all want me. And it's like the reverse in America where the men are kind of being like, I got 5 other girls that want me, and the girls are fighting like I don't want to say like men, but they're doing things they wouldn't normally do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and especially it works especially for the Black community because Black women really want Black partners.
Yes.
Like, we're raised to think that, and also we're the culture, we're the influence of the community. So it's literally on us to keep this community going. Because if we leave with the Black men, we'll be extinct in 4 years. So,
baby, mixed up.
Okay. So it's really like the onus is on Black women because we are the ones who really want Black partners, and the Black men absolutely know that. So we're unmatched, especially in Black America. And I don't think like our community addresses enough of what, you know, the crack epidemic and the crime bill really did to our communities, right? How our communities have become so disjointed, and how Black women have had to take a leadership role in the community, and then the Black men come back and the Black women are in leadership, and the Black women are just like, okay, here you go. And the men are like, you're too strong for me. I held this community down when you were incarcerated, and now I'm too strong.
Yeah.
How do you go through all of that and come out and I'm your enemy?
Very
I held everything down. And like now nobody's having this conversation. Everybody's just fighting each other, and nobody is dealing with the traumatic moment that changed the trajectory of our community. And then we're left with this.
I noticed that nobody brings it up. And I don't think it makes me understand both sides to a certain point. But people, when people act, I think sometimes, you need to talk about it, but I also think that have some grace. Let me explain. And that both, I kind of compare it to China's situation, because humans actually act the exact same way in either situation. It's actually not a race thing. It's just that the incarceration, that entire thing messed up the whole community, but nobody wants to talk about it, which is very strange. And my family's Jamaican, and if you know, Jamaican women, those women, they're the most giving people you ever meet in your entire life. But I'm like, girl, you're letting that man run all over you I don't even know why. I'm so confused. It's the same problem. But that's how we get shows like this, where the guys are they're not just like, they're not up to par, but they're supposed to be older women, so it's okay.
Yeah, we're all suffering. I want to get this comment from Jess John, and then I want to get out of here.
Yeah.
Jess John said, oh, you know what? Hold on. I want to get 2 comments, actually. Jess John said, I think Ready to Love has the same issues Dr. Cow talked about with Married at First Sight. They get an overabundance of women with their ish together, but Black men on that level do not apply. So the sisters get whatever.
Oh, I didn't know Dr. Cow.
Yeah, if you watched Married at First Sight, it's pretty much the same issue. It's pretty much the same issue. And this is just diverse women being matched up with men they should just never be matched up with. And in real life, they would just never like look these men way, or even like go on a date with them, right? And then you have all the coaches telling the women to settle. Nobody tells the men to settle, but the women have to settle.
I got out of there quick.
So sad. And then let's get this comment from Georgia Peach 77777 said, to be honest and realistic, Tommy chooses men that are like him. No, Tommy was with that woman forever and decided to finally marry her after he finally got his stuff together. I believe that, because I think he sees himself in a lot of these men before he got himself together. And I think his wife was a little bit better off before he was. So he is marketing this show, or like casting this show around his situation, his relationship with his wife. And that just doesn't make sense, right? Because then for him to do anything about it, he would have to then think that his relationship and the way it formed was not a norm, and probably shouldn't formed in that way. But he doesn't. He thinks that it's supposed to be like that. His situation is Black women should suffer until the Black man gets to where he needs to be, and then after all that suffering, you guys can have a great relationship. But in this relationship, she's the only one that has suffered.
Your turn.
Like, why do we have to suffer to be in relationships?
Oh,
so sad. It's so sad what's expected of these women globally, but especially for Black women. You just have to eat it. And this is the quality of men that you have to eat it from. Absolutely not.
I think not.
Absolutely not. Before we get out of here, do you ladies have any last words?
You know, I don't.
Well, did you put your URL in the comment section?
I did earlier.
Okay, put it in again, and I'm also going to put it in the description box. Amma, you have anything to say?
I just want to say that, Nikki, I love you. I think you are just the funniest lady I've ever met on the YouTube. I think you're great. I've literally been watching you since I was like, honestly, it was COVID time, so I was in college.
Okay.
And I don't know how.
Please don't tell me you're a teenager, because my
No.
I don't know.
I don't know
what I just said to the baby.
I think I started watching you with Rachel Lindsay. I think that's where it was.
Yes.
And I don't know how I came across you, but I was like, this lady, she's great. And you remind me of my aunts and my sister. And I was like, she's very comforting, but also you say heinous things sometimes. I'm like, that's hilarious. So I'm
doing better. I'm growing.
No, keep doing it.
Thank you all so much. Ladies, I'm going to get out of here, but I don't want you to click off because I do want to talk to you after this.
Okay.
Stay on. But anyway, thank you all. So, Star fam, this was really, really fun. Thank you, ladies, for joining me. This is a great conversation. I hope that we can do this again. Yeah. Black women or women, period, watching this, you don't have to suffer. Don't let the show tell you that you have to suffer to find love. There is a man out there. He might just not be in your town. You might got to travel to go get him. I know a lot of women are going, traveling across the globe, going to Dirty December and finding something. I know of a girlfriend that went there and ain't come back yet. So you just never know. You just never know. Maybe we got to go to Ghana. Who knows? But I'm just saying, you deserve happiness in your relationship. You do not have to suffer. That's not what we're doing here. But thank you all so much for joining us. We love you all, and we'll see you soon for something else. Bye, guys.